Hello students, it's Nazia Begum here, your physics lecturer, welcoming you all in today's lecture. In our previous lecture, I have explained you the molecular theory about surface tension. Now today, we will define surface tension. Okay, so here in front of you, you can see figure 10.16. In this figure, you can see that one container is there. Inside the container, one liquid is filled. Okay, and the top surface of this liquid is exposed to atmosphere. One side of that surface is free to atmosphere and one side is inside the that other surface is inside the liquid only. So here we can see that top surface is a free surface. In that surface, as I have explained you in previous video, in the same manner the molecules present on that surface, they will experience a very strong molecular attraction in the downward direction, and that's why they are having a certain kind of tension there, which we call as surface tension. Okay, so here you can draw one perpendicular line, um, which is according to the length of the surface. Okay, imagine a line AB of length L drawn on the surface of a liquid. Okay, so the force due to surface tension acts tangentially to the liquid surface and at right angle to the line. So here we are having line AB. Okay, so here we are having one line AB, and perpendicular to that line we are having the tension on the surface. Okay, so that means the surface tension of the liquid is given by S equals to F upon L, force per unit length. Okay, so what can be the definition? So here is the definition of surface tension in front of you. Surface tension of a liquid is defined as the force per unit length acting on a line drawn tangentially on the free surface of the liquid. Its SI unit is Newton per meter and its dimensions are mt-2. It is a scalar quantity. Okay, so this is a simple definition of surface tension. Then let's move to surface energy. Now, when we say surface energy, that means it is the energy of the molecule present on the surface, and it is a kind of potential energy. How it is a potential energy? Let me explain you. So here in this diagram, you can see that on the top surface some molecules are there. Okay, let's move to the previous slide. So here we can understand it in better way. So now let's focus on the molecule A. Okay, this is molecule A, which is present on the exactly on the surface of this liquid. Okay, so on that molecule a strong molecular attraction force is working, which is trying to pull the molecule in the downward direction. Okay, in the downward direction that force is acting. Because of that force the molecule tries to come down, but the molecule cannot come down. It has to be there on that particular position. So because of a spatial position, the object is having which energy? It is having the potential energy. Okay, so that's why molecule A there on the surface, that is also having potential energy. So if molecule A is having energy, so whatever molecules are present on the surface, each and every molecule is having that potential energy. Okay, so that potential energy possessed by molecules of the surface is only called the surface energy. Okay, and to derive the formula of that energy, what we will assume? We will assume that one molecule is here at the bottom and we are moving the molecule in the upward direction. Okay, and when we are moving the molecule in upward direction, so that time we are doing some work against the attraction force of molecules which are present inside the liquid. Are you understanding this situation? The molecules which are on surface, we will imagine that molecules are present on the bottom, and from there we are moving the molecules to the surface, and in course of that motion we have to struggle to come out from the attraction force because of the molecule, and to do that we have to do some work, and that work will be stored in the molecules on the surface in form of potential energy, and that energy is only called the surface energy. So now I hope you all have understood that how the stretch membrane or the free surface of the liquid is having the surface energy. So here now let's start surface energy. So here you can see it is written, surface layer of a liquid possesses extra potential energy. This is called the surface energy of the surface. Hence, work will be done in increasing the area of the surface. Okay. So consider a horizontal soap film. See, you can see here. Wait. Here you can see one structure is given in front of you. Okay. In this structure, you can see one U-shaped frame is there. Okay. So in this U-shaped frame, side AD is fixed. Okay. And inside the frame, one movable side is there, which is BC. So this side BC can move. Okay. So here this is AD which is fixed, and here is BC which can move on these two parallel sides. Okay. Now suppose we put this frame inside the soap liquid, soap solution. Okay. So when we put them in soap solution, that time suppose their distance was AB dash to DC dash. Okay, initial distance was that one. So once again understand it clearly that AD is fixed side and the movable side is having the position B dash C dash initially. Then we put this U-shaped ring inside a soap solution, and when we take it out, one layer of soap will form there. Okay, and we also notice that the side BC, which is the movable side, has moved a little. Okay, it has moved a little. In which direction? In this direction. Okay, and why this happened? So that the area can be decreased. See, when we put the this U-shaped ring in a soap solution, so because in uh, that liquid will form one surface there on the ring. You all might noticed that now that when we if suppose we are having any closed loop. Okay, so when we put it inside soap solution, a layer of soap, a film of soap will form there, and because that soap film is having the free surface, the surface area they are having, so that's why there will be some surface tension, and because of the surface tension, that soap that soap film will try to acquire the smaller area, and in course of doing so it will move in the inward direction. Okay, and in place of B dash C dash, the side moves to inward direction, the left hand side, and it now gains the position BC. Okay, so that the area will decrease. Now when it gains the position BC, so here we can see a small displacement happened there. Okay, from B dash to B, one small displacement D is there. Now if suppose we have to overcome this surface tension, so what we have to do? we have to move the side BC again to its original position B dash C dash, and when we will do so, we have to do work against the surface tension. So that work will be stored in form of surface energy. So if here we find out the work done in moving BC to B dash C dash, okay, if we can find out the work in moving that, so we can find out the surface energy as well. So now let's try to find it out. Please see this diagram carefully. Then in next page, now we are going to derive the formula. So as I have told you, we have to move BC, arm BC of length L a little bit outside by a small distance d to position B dash C dash by applying a force F. So what will be the work done in moving so? The work done W will be F into D. Okay, give it equation number 1. And this work is stored as the extra energy of the film. Let S be the surface energy per unit area of the film. As film has two sides and the liquid in between, so there are two surfaces. See, when we dip that U-shaped frame inside the soap solution, one layer will form there, and that layer is having two sides, front side and back sides. Okay, two sides will be there. That means there will be two surfaces. Okay, so if there will be any increase or decrease in the area, so it will be twice of that frame's area. Are you understanding this? If the frame's area uh, is length into breadth, L into D, so because two sides are there, so that's why it will be 2 into L into D. So what will be the extra energy of the film? dW, it will be S into 2dL or S into dA. Okay, so S equals to dW upon dA. Now let me once explain you that what is D and L. See, D is the D is the breadth of this area, okay, where we have to do the work. This distance, this is called the breadth, and L is the length. Okay, this is L, length of BC or AD. This is length. So length into breadth is area. So area of this small part will be L into D only. So we have one formula of surface tension S equals to dW upon dA. Thus we conclude that surface tension is the surface energy per unit area of the surface of a liquid. Okay, now again from equation 1 and 2, this is equation 1 and here this is equation number 2. So from equation 1 and 2, both the equation gives us the work done. Okay, so that means both are equal. So S into 2dL equals to FD, or dd will get cancelled, S equals to F upon 2L. This is another formula for surface tension. Hence, surface tension is force per unit length of a line in the plane of surface. It acts tangentially to the surface and perpendicular to the line. F upon L. This is the same formula which we have studied with the definition of surface tension. Okay, and there it was one surface, that's why F upon L was there. Now in case of soap layer, that soap layer which is formed on film, we are having two free surfaces, that's why here we are having F upon 2L because of two surfaces. The value of surface tension of different liquid is different. In general, surface tension of a liquid decreases with the rise in temperature. Okay, as the temperature increases, the molecule have the kinetic energy, and because of that they start moving randomly in all the direction. So in that time obviously the surface tension will decrease. Surface tension of some liquid at 20 degree is given below. Okay, so water is having a surface tension of 0.0727, mercury is having 0.4355, ethanol is having 0.0227. So from this table only you can see that mercury, which is very dense liquid, it is having a very high surface tension. Okay, so surface tension also depends on density of the liquid, and obviously it will depend on density, because surface tension is the uh, is there because of the molecules present inside the liquid. Okay, molecules apply force on the the molecules present inside the liquid, they apply force on the molecules which are present on the surface of the liquid. So if the liquid is dense, that is more number of molecules are present in a particular area, so obviously they will apply more force. Okay, and that's why the surface tension will be more. But if the liquid is not very dense, it is thin, okay, it is very thin liquid like water, simple water, etc. So that time in per unit area the number of molecules will be less, and that's why the surface tension we will have less value. I hope it is clear that how surface tension depends on density, because it depends on the force applied by molecule. So yes, it depends on density as well. Now move to next topic, excess pressure across a curved surface of a liquid. So basically we see that the water drops, the bubbles, etc., whatever liquids we are having, they try to tend the spherical surface. Okay, that means whatever surface they are having, the free surface, it is actually curved but not the straight one. Okay, so now let's try to understand that why the free liquid surface remains stable when it is curved and not on the straight position. So let us consider three different shapes of the liquid surface as shown in this figure. So here it is figure A, B and C. In figure A you are having a plane surface. In figure B you are having figure B and C you are having the curved surfaces. Okay, now let's try to understand all the figures. Figure A shows a plane liquid surface. The molecule A on the surface is attracted equally in all directions. Thus, the resultant force acting on A is zero. Hence, the forces due to surface tension act tangentially to the liquid surface in the opposite direction. Thus, we conclude that there is no pressure difference across a plane liquid surface. In figure B, we are having a convex liquid surface. Okay, so here in figure B, you can see that the surface is having a convex shape. Okay, now why this convex shape is there? The resultant of the forces due to surface tension will be directed downward toward the center of curvature of the surface. Okay, then in third we are having a concave surface in which the molecule A will experience a resultant force in upward direction. Okay, so when downside so much so many molecules are present, and that molecules are trying to attract the molecule A which is present on surface, so that time we can imagine that the pressure inside the liquid is very large in comparison with the outside one, and that's why the liquid will acquire a convex surface. But in case third, what is the case? Here we are having concave surface. In this case what happened? The pressure inside the liquid is very less in comparison with the atmospheric pressure, the pressure outside the liquid, and that's why the surface is having the concave shape. Okay, and the resultant force on molecule A is in downward direction. Now about these curved surfaces we will discuss more in detail in next lecture. For today we are having only this conclusion. Okay, we conclude that surface tension causes a pressure difference between the inside and outside of the curved liquid surface. So this line is very important, that surface tension causes a pressure difference. Okay, and this pressure difference is called excess pressure, and it is clear that from figure B and C that the pressure on the concave side is always greater than that on the convex side of the surface. So pressure at the concave side is more than the convex side. So as I have told you, okay, here this is the, here in this diagram, this is the concave side, so here pressure is more. Okay, here this is the concave side, so here pressure will be more. So I hope you all have understood that how because of pressure difference the liquid acquire different curved shapes. And please remember this, that on the concave side the pressure is more in comparison with the convex side. Okay, so this is it for today's lecture. See you in next lecture. Till then, goodbye, take care, do some productive work, and the most important thing, be healthy, be safe.